Hi, I'm Jane, this is Nick, and together we're walking Wainwright's coast to coast. Well, today we're embarking on leg 6 of Wainwright's coast to coast. We're walking from Shap over to Kirkby Stephen. We're saying goodbye to the Lake District and we're heading into the Yorkshire Dales National Park. We've got no mountains. But we are heading over a wonderful limestone plateau, and it'll be great for our feet because we're heading over velvet turf. And we're joined by Liz today.
Hi.
And yeah, we've got 20 miles, so it's going to be a long day. We've seen these signs saying alternative route for the coast to coast, avoiding cows and calves. We had to walk up to see how many cows and calves there were, and there were quite a lot right across the path. So we've decided we're going to follow this alternative route to give them a bit of space. It's a huge contrast. When I turn this way, I'm seeing the mountain falls that we walked across in the last stage. And looking this way is the motorway, the M6. And the start, just over there, the Yorkshire Dales National Park. So we've now reached the crossing over the M6, which is a third of the coast to coast as the crow flies. So we're now heading into Crosby Ravensworth Moor and towards our first bit of limestone pavement. This whole area that we're walking today is rich in prehistoric settlements. It used to be home to many ancient peoples and is now very sparsely populated. We found this lovely bit of limestone pavement where we're having a quick break. We're now heading off the main track. There's a useful little signpost here to tell us where we need to veer off this. It's a beautiful day for walking. Sunny, but there's a slight breeze. We're heading eastwards up this soft mounded hill, at the top of which is a limestone pavement. We're now well and truly in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. It's really stunning. As we're walking along, you can hear crickets, see tiny butterflies. Haven't seen much bird life yet. So we're coming up to the waymark that's described on maps and by Alfred Wainwright as a big boulder. And it's a big granite boulder that's been left behind by glacial action. And it does look rather incongruous in this landscape. So we're still on Crosby Ravensworth Moor, which is a lovely walk. And we've been heading along by the side of this stone wall for a while. And at the corner of it here, the wall turns off left, but we have to go straight on at this stage. I must say this path's been quite busy. We've been overtaken by quite a few different people, all very friendly, all doing the coast to coast. We may catch up with some of them later. Right, so we've all got a bit of a challenge. We're working out how far we've got to go. There's a sign just ahead. Liz, what do you say?
I say it's 10 to 10.5 miles max
To go.
to go. Yeah.
Nick?
12 miles.
I'm opting for 12.5 miles. So we'll just go over and see what it actually says now. It doesn't say anything. Well, at Sunbig and Tarn, there's 11 miles to go. We're nowhere near halfway. We're all feeling a little bit deflated, aren't we, Liz?
We are very deflated. I thought we were at least halfway by now.
So we found a really lovely shady spot with the sheep. And it's time for the lunch question. Nick, what are you having for lunch today?
I'm having a bagel, cheese and ham, and I'm having a pork pie.
Pork pie. And I believe Liz has got 2 of your pork pies too, Liz.
Yes.
I've eaten mine.
Happy to share.
Breakfast.
Okay, we're heading past Scarside House now. 3.5 miles to Sunbig and Tarn. But before we get to Sunbig and Tarn, we're going to try and find the Honesty Cafe at the Sunbig Farm. Hopefully they'll still have some food left for us. So we're now following the track down to Friar Biggins Farm from Scarside. You don't actually go up over the hills. It is a bit confusing, but someone has written a red coast to coast sign and popped it on the gate quite handily. We've now discovered a Sound of Music field, but Nick and Liz are refusing to go skipping across it for me. Not quite sure why. Liz and I are having a discussion about a country mile. Now, what, Liz, do you think a mile in London, walking in London, is shorter than a mile walking out on the coast to coast route?
I think definitely, absolutely. There's got to be a difference in it.
Yeah, well, we're going to research what a country mile is when we get back. So, we're all still looking for Sunbig and Tarn. And Sunbig Farm and the Honesty Cafe, more importantly.
More importantly, definitely.
We all got a bit overexcited back there. So we thought we'd found it, but it was actually Acres Farm. Got another mile to go up here before we hit the Honesty Cafe. We're super excited. We actually think at long last we've reached the Honesty Cafe. Behind that skip, maybe there's a sign. Oh yes, look, there is. There's an Honesty Cafe there. We've now left the Honesty Cafe at Sunbig Farm and it was amazing. We're heading over Tarn Moor towards Sunbig Tarn. We're not actually going to go to Sunbig Tarn. We're going to head straight for Kirkby Stephen because it's getting on. It's after 3 now and we would like to get back before 7 ideally. We're not sure that's possible. I'd say for this leg, definitely don't underestimate the length of it. It's beautiful, but it is a long way. We're heading now to Smaledale Bridge. We've left Sunbig Tarn, that's behind us. We're all a bit positive, we've got a bit more of a spring in our step. It's a little bit cooler now as well. So I think we're all a bit relieved of that. We weren't expecting the heat. Sort of makes walking a bit harder. I don't think we could have done without the Honesty Cafe. That was a very welcome pit stop. So we're now heading across Ravenstonedale Moor. I think it's a good couple of miles across here towards Smaledale Bridge. Right, what time do you think we're going to be back to Kirkby Stephen, guys?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not putting a time. I've given up giving time now. We'll get there when we get there.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I'm aiming for 7.
I think you're very optimistic, Jane.
We've now made it to Crosby Garrett Fell, which is the final fell of this leg. And this, although it's very remote now, was home to ancient settlements of people. And a bit further along, there's a very interesting ancient archaeological site of 3 villages. Don't think it's been explored properly. You can't see much to the naked eye. I think you can see more from aerial view. We have our first sighting of Smaردale Bridge, a sight for sore eyes. We thought we'd never get there. Well, we're not there yet, but we nearly are. We've got to, Smaردale Bridge. The sign says Kirkby Stephen is 3 3/4 miles. We were a bit worried it was going to be more than that. Well, now heading into Kirkby Stephen. It's been a long day and a longer 20 miles than I had anticipated. It's been a lot harder than I thought, but it has been really enjoyable. We've had a lot of laughs along the way, seen a lot of interesting things, but I'm not kidding when I say we will all be quite pleased to reach Kirkby Stephen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.